holding things in place. That is some space for Sivir to auto attack, and we were looking for that. And I do think that Ultra Prime did find that with some of the
Love that Junhao is forcing a vertical jungle towards his Rumble, because right now we're seeing him try and help Zhang out to get that Rumble rolling early. Sasa does not have the exhaust. Does get over to level 3, but already used that to trade with Zhang. He's going to use his flash power to get right on top of Sasa and get first blood. Junhao and Ultra Prime now can Climber find a way to clean these kills up. Zhang does not have flash. He won't get slammed against the wall for the stun. The Climber should have more than enough damage, but he will fall just in time with Zhang. So Junhao, nothing to gain for LGD.
Look, I think that's the right play from Climber, but you called it out. Like, is that going to be a real advantage now for Gwen versus Rumble? We'll see, and now leave for tempo.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Vaya get all those options.
Frankly, I do think it's very beneficial for LGD to try and keep that pressure continues, because Zhang does have flash back up, does have equalizer to try and take down a wave, and, well, we're talking about that side of the map, because, yeah, we're giving this up.
Yeah, we're just casually giving 3 grubs up to a Rise comp, and no big deal. Climber's like, oh yeah, Climber gets camps back. Guys, he's still going to be down camps, stealing this entire quadrant, and he's on Poppy, so...
LG might be able to find something on the back half. Sivir all turns very early. There's significant also still up for Ultra Prime, but I do think that LGD have some options here, as they're going to drop the Reaver's Wall, try and cut him off a mid, and just play for plates on the bill win for Ultra Prime.
They've got more win cons within later stages, like 18 highlights. Infernal Soul going to be pretty nice here. Saosha nearly cancels his back, was able to stay just long enough to thwart this YCX flank. He actually takes a turret shot. Makes things a little more hairy than I think LGD were expecting, but nobody dies.
Teams for this game, so Merc treads in early. Going to be a race to pen afterwards, but I expect to see the Rise lane really try to pressure the Talia.
This is big. LGD are finally moving around the map. They're going for this Dragon, trying to stop the soul stacking, but Shouts is going to immediately commit on XQW. He's a little far away from the rest of his team. Stuns Slayer, there's flashes after him, and Junhao is able to pick up that first kill, and now all bets are off. Sasa flying at Zhang to try and find the trade under the Rumble, but Junhao goes in with a huge Cyclone to knock out 2 members just like that, and LGD having to burn double flashes just to see Savior Climber survive, but I may have spoke too soon. The flash slows enough for Savior to pick up a 4th kill. Ultra Prime just knocked this game 1 out of proportion.
Yeah, this feels like good game to me, and man, that was a real bummer. XQW getting engaged upon the way that he did. You got to be able to react to that Alistar combo. If he gets out of that, I think that there is a real world where LGD still has that favorable setup and fight, but no flash response to the Alistar combo, and well, they're going to look for plays like this with objectives down. Vaya
does not have summoners, but the seismic shove was misplaced with YCX's layered Rel stun.
Yeah.
He just walks on out.
That did not look good from XQW. A little bit of desync there from LGD, and both trying to reach in the back half of the play to find something before Ultra Prime resets. Comes up empty, and now we're still looking pretty grim here.
Yeah, you got the scuttle, traded back. Saosha does not have ult, so he actually gets burned down by Savior. TP is coming in as well. I don't know how much more they're able to grab. It's actually Zhang's going to get caught here by YCX, and there is the flick back landing this time from XQW. That's a double kill over to Savior. The mainstay carry for so many of these LGD wins.
That's not taking a clean reset after that play really set them behind. Because now, I mean, they're still split. They're giving LGD opportunities.
Cyclone down defensively. YCX should die here. Saosha does have Unbreakable Will this time. He's buying a lot of space in the front line. That Keeper's Verdict was not in time, and now the Rift Herald gets stolen away by Junhao. And we have ourselves a classic Group Nirvana Rift Herald fight. Maybe overstating it a bit, as they are currently sitting about 6k gold down. They're able to trade some turrets here for this Opticon take that. Okay, I'm seeing actually WTP in here, but LGD, they're a little bit too late to the party. They don't have Keeper's Verdict to even boot anybody out, so XQW TP swap.
Footing carved out here from Ultra Prime. If they stay in that control ward, a lot of control for them. You can see just how much LGD have to see given their behind.
They kept YCX, just trying to get a spare ward, sir. There's some serious conviction behind this game plan. And they're, you know, outside of maybe this Herald. Oh, it got through the wall. Good try there, XQW. I was about to clown.
That started like hopping behind the car, and that is, I can't fit in that parking space. You know?
Oh boy. I don't think Climber fits into any equation of this Dragon take. Oh my gosh, John flat over the wall to kill him off. Piercing Arrow actually hits that thing down to 100, but they didn't even need their jungler to secure Infernal Soul. Junhao going after the backline. Good flash away from XQW's Savior. Junhao goes a little bit too far forward and gives over a pretty critical shutdown.
I don't think that the lead they lost in the top side of the jungle really warranted a game as passive as this one. So definitely something to revisit and look at if you're LGD.
All right, get to revisit it pretty soon here. The way
only they had a
this
grub.
Plank is coming here for Ultra Prime. On the hunt pop.
Goodbye
XQW going to be the one singled out, and see ya later.
Yeah.
One sent back towards the fountain.
Oh, we'll see if they can secure this bounty.
Junhao definitely does it. Yeah, I was going to say, Junhao, if he's diving out a pit behind Infernal Soul, he's going to chase down Savior and Climber, try and take him in tier 1 turret. Good call on the TP. Here comes Zhang off to the side. Does have the equalizer. Lays out the lava carpet, so Climber cannot save his AD carry. And Climber, his only rescue is this blast cone he's going to take out of his own jungle. His Ultra Primer kind of just counting the seconds until Baron starts. And luckily, there's only about 30 more counts for that one.
Yeah, I'm counting the seconds until I can get up and get some water. It's a police ball up here as Xiaosh is holding the door. And we'll see if anyone can get through the bodyguards.
Is daring anybody to make a kerfuffle out front of his club. Club Baron, one would call it. And nope, they're going to just get back on the mid wave. It's almost like Ultra Prime want a fight so they can end this game without the Baron. And well, LG are going to give it to him. But here comes the cow through on the Realm Warp. And look how much damage he can take up with that Unbreakable Will. It's going to have to take the Keeper's Verdict to boot him out. Climber will finally send actually Junhao out. And that might save LGD from a catastrophe boot, a really critical carry out of the fight, or knock Junhao out of the pit if he's able to get up here for the Baron take. While I'm talking about all these hypotheticals, the reality is the Baron goes down uncontested, and they still want to fight after that. Zhao with the Ring Will goes back up. Good crash down the backhand from YCX, but where's the damage, bro? LGD's got none of it. All they've got is perpetual gray screens. 4 more kills, and the Realm Warp is going to force Savior away from his base, and they're going to usher their first Baron wave, not just to an inhibitor turret, but all the way for a Nexus explosion. And Ultra Prime's most dominating win, maybe of the whole split.
I mean, LGD took a comp that we felt like had to play a little bit faster early. They didn't contest the grubs, they didn't contest the first 2 dragons, and man, things just really fell apart from there. This was not an inspiring performance from LGD, and on the flip side, Ultra Prime, hey, they got a lead with Junhao, got a lead on Zhang, and we talked about this.
Strundle.
Yeah, it's got to be a death ball for Ultra Prime. This is a super low-range composition hopping in. And if they take
this dragon off the board early, he is kind of clearing down towards it. We'll have to see, because we know that grubs in 3 minutes is just such a big event that everyone's going to come pulling up to.
No, I'm 100% with you. Definitely expect grubs to be contested. We could see a mid-play here. Both junglers hanging around.
Primer's going to cover nicely. No subjugate, no glacial prison, no ultimates to speak of in general. And the stun's going to land on a Junhao, and Saber's not healthy enough to look for the drink. Climber's going to flash after him. The knockup lands, and down goes Saber. They might look to double dip here. On bot side, we have our own fight breaking out as Savior's going to be able to trade his support back out, but Baya, should he have enough damage here? They're waiting on cooldowns. The dash, the double taps, yes, Baya answers back for Ultra Prime, 2-0 out of lane.
2 kills for the Lucian, big, but that winning mid-jungle 2v2 we talked about for Ultra Prime, they didn't have level 6 yet, no subjugate. All right, rotation's coming in. Yeah, Baya's walking up, Nautilus TPing in with the Spellbook TP that we talked about. Now LGD, they got to catch this wave, but after this, they should be able to make a play.
Baya looking aggressively, but he walks into the Glacial Prison. He immediately cleanses with the Fate Unsealed. Hits onto 2 from XQW, and Baya is absolutely cooked. Punished for his over-aggression.
Beautiful setup by LGD as XQW, this Yone. The second most banned champion against LGD. We're seeing why in this game. Great setup by XQW for that fight with Climber. Baya dashing into that Fate Sealed. And with him going down, that means that those grubs that you were really setting up as being so important, so you're going to go LGD's way, as they're looking for a little bit more.
Continue to find aggressive trades, but into the trundle with that subjugate ticking. YCX walked a bit too far. The culling comes down. They're dropping the depth charge on XQW as well. He burns the flash, but the grub pit is where their attention must be turned, and it's going to be 3 secured by Climber. We'll see if this is a one-way trip, though. No return airfare. Does dash over the walls. Could actually get Junhao to flash after him. I assume they're going to give this kill on over, to Junhao to try and get this trundle back accelerated.
Okay. Still 3 grubs taken by LGD. I think that's going to be okay. Ollie player early on, too. Like, he was playing a lot of melee since split 1, going back there as well.
Climber, good try with the blast cone, but that is good.
Grubs, they have leads in both side lanes. I mean, how much can you get done here if you're LGD?
And it just further
Ghost popped?
punishes you. Okay, we're going after Saber. Oh, we're not gonna look where that first failure ultimate went. There's the hijacked one. Used to be able to stun up, but he gets a heal as well. Saber buying a lot of time, and now Climber and YCX have to flash away from the might of the turret. And here comes Baya off to the flank. YCX is good as dead. Baya's got more than enough damage. XQW, Fate sealed to get away, but another dredge line's gonna sink through for Xiaoxia, and Ultra Prime have a bit of an answer back here, starting to really stack up some kills.
Slayer, that's
well. LGD, again, with a nice bounce back early game, but they've got some questions to answer pretty quickly. We might see it on this top side as a TP and knockup comes on to Junhao. The subjugate, we talked about the HP, there wasn't enough to cover for that amount of damage. And here comes the Glacial Prison from Climber layered onto Xiaoxia, and Saber just has to watch his support drop as LGD calling all 5 members to win themselves a critical skirmish.
Good pickup. Rift not up yet. Trying to snipe Brom.
Oh, one auto, he gets it with the burn. Saber able to find one, but he went after the support with all 4 members. LGD around, the Fate Sealed is going to find its first kill. And with the stuns layering, Zhang is also going to drop. Red, White don't fight, and Savior just showed you why.
I mean, that wasn't worth. The Bork Yone doing some serious pick up on that one.
It's a classic if I had a nickel for...
Very good right now. Their soul lanes are winning. They have 3 grubs. They can win the game a lot harder for them.
Ultra Primer getting cheeky here. YCX walking away. Very unfriendly brush, but again, it's the Braum that's able to start off this engage, and Junhao actually has to flash away from his team to try and survive, but he eats an ultimate to the face and gives another kill over to Savior. Another positive trade for LGD, support for jungler.
Yeah, that's a game where Braum's very happy, and I think that we've seen the scoreline for YCX, not be the prettiest, and that bot side was pretty poor, but still the value for Braum, like on paper, seems high, and definitely with what we're seeing in the fight so far, it's been good.
And what we haven't really touched on because he hasn't been on our screens very much.
Yep.
Sasa is 2-0-1. 34's done. He's completely uncontested. His Saber is going to whip out on the hijack Fate Sealed. With the Soul Unbound, XQW has to go back in. Y6 is luckily there to make sure he doesn't get Soul Unbound. Still need to make sure there aren't really any traditional fights in this game, because they can just 1-3-1. And who right now is ever not just matching, but punishing this York and Yone in the side lanes? Hold on, though. We have a nice little Freljord ultimate combo, gets multiple knockups. Zhang goes after Saber's able to back off the Aphelios, and we're going to test how tanky this Scion is. And the answer is going to be not tanky enough for Ultra Prime. Zhang going to go down first here. There's no real way to look for a turn unless Xiaoxia is able to get a pretty good depth charge down, or a dredge line. They sacrifice the bait, and LGD are going to gobble up all the spoils of war on this top side, being the Herald. We'll see if Junhao wants to start a fight.
Still have hijacked up if they want to fish around for a Saber ultimate, and LGD is a little bit low. So I think Ultra Prime, they're going to think about playing this. The Silas ult options, though, I don't think that he's going to be able to grab the Glacial Fissure or Glacial Prison yet.
You don't have grubs. All right.
Okay.
He's going to exclude himself from the pack.
Trapping the brush, and okay, he's going to spring it.
Nice. Cross back the Eternal Plane he created for himself the first time. And the goal still remains unfinished, which is going after this turret, and that's a missed hijack Glacial Prison there from Saber. And well, it's actually LGD that get the first turret throughout all of that. It's
and it's open up. I mean, Sasa's no TP. So they're playing away from the Otacon with the Yone and him being able to threaten a TP here. And seems to be a decent setup for LGD. Did see a blue trinket used by Baya. So the Otacon is spotted and will be stopped. But now, Ultra Prime spending a lot of time up here. Going to lose control of mid and lose control of that Dragon Pit.
An eloquent use of resources here from LGD. Moving around their pieces at the third Drake of the game. The first Ocean Drake. What a bounce back for LGD. I'm going out on a limb saying there was some very momentum-based speeches coming in that locker room after game one, but now they're going to have to put their money where their mouth is at the Octagon fight. They really could just decide this game. They're going to TP on into Yone. XQW off to the side. Glacial Prison can get the stuns. They're layering on the Junhao. He doesn't even get the Otacon. He goes down first. Zhong flakes into the background. He is going to be able to get a 1v1 with Savior, but he doesn't even win that right now. Red White, don't fight. Get away from the Aphelios. He doesn't care about your health bar. 3 kills for none. LGD running away with this second game.
Yeah, I think that's game right there, Slayer, as pretty much every major monster objective has been secured in favor of LGD, and it's just been Climber and XQW able to set the pace a lot better than what has been available for Ultra Prime, where it felt like there was a comp where they kind of have to throw themselves in at LGD and see what happens, and LGD, they're very happy in that.
Whatsoever. This split is just going to be so deadly, suffocating, what we say. Top tier 1 traded for... a whole lot of gold on the backswing.
And Baya is the only one that like is fed and is ahead, and even that looks good right now. As okay, TP coming in. That's Saber.
Zhong is going to cut off the escape angle using his health bar as a resource, but it's actually Zeus that's going in for the flank with Saber. Holy moly, what a hijack fate unsealed. And now look at the pandemonium, but the health bars for LGD are just too tanky right now, and they can't get Baya in a position to capitalize on any of these blinking health bars. XQW will finally drop a Climber, able to throw the boar at the rest of Ultra Prime forward, and without Baya, look at the minions and Maiden take care of business.
Well, we thought that it would kind of questioning whether it would be enough damage to take down the Scion and Trundle early on. It's become there is definitely not enough damage to deal with this Yorick, as Sasa making them feel the pain of the Gravedigger, and well, looks like they're going to be sending Ultra Prime at least to a game 3 here.
Doing it in style with one of the quickest games the LPL may be seeing at the very end of Split 3. It's getting a little bit dicey towards the end, but I think... Yep, Sasa's going to have it. Pre-25 minutes, LGD with an answer back.
Well,
Aurora's just such an overtuned laner with her
really
passive,
good.
but I think this is a really good answer to the Ambassador that's run rampant in the LPL.
We'll say this shoved in pretty aggressively. Aurora, of course, as you highlighted, Slayer. Early laning prowess is very real for the Aurora. As Ultra Prime going to probably struggle to find ways to deal with that. Saber,
oh my God, Saber is dead! Just like that, the power of Aurora in the early level. Want to take a reset, but with the timing, has to teleport up early. They're now getting Zhong up here as well. Both mid laners have TP if a fight does break out, but it's LGD that already have 1 grub secured. Sasa going to try and play tank on the front line as we just see projectiles traded. Second grub going to go down here. We'll see if Ultra Prime want to fight for it, but the cease and desist is coming across. Sasa Takeover is going to get cleansed by Savior. Sasa on top of a very low HP. Sousa, but the Tempered Fate's going to stall everything out. 4 XQW to come through the between worlds off to the side. Sasa buying so much time with his health bar means the rest of LGD can just knock down these health bars as the 80 carries go blow for blow, but it's a great pullback on the damage from Baya, who is untouched through all of this and dealing out damage. Ace out of nowhere to Ultra Prime.
I mean, Saber had a really nice fight.
I don't know why XQW is one of the latest members to that fight with all the power he had. But it's now evaporated. He is back down gold, and well, LGD are going to try and get themselves into the first dragon of the game. And Junhao was just, seeking a potential steal angle, but that's first Drake down at 10 minutes. It's not a big...
Own in the back line doesn't have insane setup outside of Fate's Call or Hostile Takeover. It's probably not going to be used for him.
QW. Well, we are sorely out of position on this wave. Maybe just sensing or assuming he's a bit more stronger. Saber doesn't have enough to one-shot him yet. Zhong the attention of much of LGD's ire as well, but none of these side lane plays are going to manifest just yet. That means we can start talking about more item breakpoints that we expect to come through here. Saber's actually going to use some Spirit Rush and Force Between Worlds on XQW. Wow, how is that priorities to go after? As both junglers are making maybe some dives a priority. Hello, flash cease and desist. Goodbye, Baya. Just like that.
Well, I say that Sasa's actually channeling the recall, so we'll see if he threatens a TP down here that was canceled.
Oh, Wow, YCX having a
Good
flash,
escape.
a magical journey. Saber, Spirit Rush is going to connect with the charm on a Savior. That's going to get the Tempered Fate out alongside that cleanse. A lot of value out of Saber's kit usage there. Prime feel confident enough to take down the second Drake of the game, and they will do so thanks to the Ren Smite combo, even if there was a jungler in the wings.
Well done. They got Savior out. Means easy Drake from
on the exact opposite side of the map. He's going to be spotted over a goal there. So Climber should feel pretty comfortable getting this Rift Herald. Should give first brick, though, over to Ultra Prime, which usually would open up feats of strength conversations, but with this Herald going down, yep, those are actually going to be secured by LGD.
Okay. Still, this game feels close, and I honestly good to see. I think some of our teams making decent decisions here. Like the decision tree's been nice. John goes TP in, but cannot save the mid-outer.
Execution! Savior, the first one up there, and John was trying to capitalize, but he actually has to flash out because Ultra Prime didn't follow with him. They're instead going to try and put a Sasa for the TP, but that is a very tanky Udyr here that takes virtually negative damage. So that is a ton of the firepower.
Where their strength lies. I think that for me, the answer would be YCX if I had to give it, but this is a core that had success at the LDL level, winning that championship with pretty much this squad, outside of the folks that were called up early. And I think that for me, like, success is still defined by that for all these teams.
Oh, there's your boy. And
oh boy,
there he goes.
that was a hell of a magical journey there for the Puppers.
Opticon knowing Dragon is not a reality for us, but I like this out of Ultra Prime. Zhong is just going to handle the Dragon themselves, and they're going to try and make a stand-up top side for Opticon.
It's a great call by Ultra Prime. They're really forcing LGD to come to them. Now, can they get out of this scenario? Zhong's going to be chunked. TP coming in. They had to pull off the Dragon.
Yeah, they had to pull off the Dragon. They are going to TP in their 5th member. So Sasa is going to start testing the limits of his health bar, but he eats a pretty critical charm. He poked down low, but the Temper Fate's going to hit onto 2. XQW goes in the middle of the Ultra Prime, then comes back out. Fate's calling to save 1 member. They're able to get Xiao out, but as soon as he goes out, he falls back down, and Sasa's health bar is too much for Ultra Prime to bear right now. Baya deleted by XQW, who finally gets to show what he is made of after that early lead. And it's the Blast Cone to save Junhao, but it's LGD.
Because the Ambassador got really low, and the conditions that LGD had when they did decide to TP in were very good.
This is bar gameplay right here, YCX. Yeah, I'm just going to annoy the jungler on his Dragon take. Oh, you're TPing Zhong in? Magical Journey, but this time Junhao's actually able to follow with the Puppers over the wall. They have to actually eat the stun, and that means that Junhao can keep chasing with that Conqueror. YCX does end up falling for disturbing Junhao on his Dragon clear.
The combo's still taken by LGD. One Jung's gonna wrap this one up this time around. So Jung will score the Dragon. And Ultra Prime end up getting something on the back half, but still like where LGD's at in this one, and kind of curious to see if we get a second look at that big fight, because man, Sausage just tanked up everything for days.
Cease and desist available. The Aurora joins. A lot of dashes to cut down Baya, who is paid for his transgressions a lot in these last couple of
Scaling
minutes.
in this game, it does come off the Ambessa and then the Fury. You're at much better break points now. Visage definitely going to work some wonders against LGD and some of the shields that are able to find, especially on the top side. See, that's close enough to get the drain tank scenario the Baya kind of runs.
While the Serpent's Fang, oh, hold on. Tempered Fate, YCX is not going to land. That's a critical ult in these last couple of fights. It does give LGD control of the mid lane and the inside track towards Baron for now until Saber. Saber's going to dash after and land a charm onto YCX, but that is a lot of the orcs. They're not going to walk into any of these.
This is a hell of a flank.
Brush.
This is a hell of a flank.
Two-pointed strike from behind. Here comes Sasa for the first prong. Second prong over the wall is going to be Climber. And hello, Baya. Eat this ultimate to the noggin. Down goes Sausa already. And there's no way for Ultra Prime to ever find a way to compete with that level of flank from LGD. 3 kills in an instant, and they don't even need to chase down Zhong because they know that, one, Sasa's going to take Junhao out. Hell, they may not even go for a Baron. They're just going to go for the kills in the base here now as they knock down Zhong, and they're going to take the whole house with them.
Okay, flank that really jailed Ultra Prime to take a fight that they did not want. It was on LGD's terms, and it showed in the result.
Podium finish, the medal around the proverbial neck for LGD. They're focused too many times that they end up panicking, and Well, that one fight really leveling the state of this game now with Sasa just so unmovable wherever lane he goes with his Baron. Maybe a threat for an inhibitor turret whenever. Saber able to rescue one turret back at the top side, but he's going to immediately have to TP back down. The gold is coming in droves for LGD, thanks to some of these turrets.
Ignoring that Drake, just trying to take as many turrets as they can. You can take the Drake on the exit if they so choose, which, yeah, it's going to be a pretty pricey exit.
Here's the nice
Sasa, yeah, Sasa knocked down the middle inhibitor turret, and the rest of LGD waiting to say siege to the bottom inhibitor turret.
Trying to slowly stretch out the fabric that is Ultra Prime's defense right now until seams start busting, turrets start falling. Hard spot to be in, but John's trying to break. He gets a public execution onto X2W, but he has the zombies this time. He's just going to bark off that ultimate and drop the worlds on top of Ultra Prime's heads. There's a couple of rockets here from Saber. They're able to get another kill. X2W going a bit too far forward, though. Able to die over to Baya, who's able to trade his flash well, but LGD's still healthy enough to start taking inhibitors after a murky fight.
Honestly, pretty amazed at the value that the tank Udyr got in that fight. The empowered Ahri drop was slowing everyone up. Opened up that angle for XQW to look for the end. Couldn't find it, but LGD still looking for the game.
Yeah, I mean, look at Sasa right now. He's taking 2 Nexus turret shots, all the attention of the 3 Ultra Prime members. And that lets Savior just step up and once again turn into a makeshift Gatling gun and belt health bars with ease. Baya's gonna fall next year. He can't dance around this Udyr as Sasa picks himself up a double kill. The Sasa Masterclass has earned LGD the comeback in our series, a win, the final one of Group Nirvana as they'll head into the play-in stage on a W.
As more and more people figure out how good this champion is.
I love it. One of my favorite champions to watch on the Rift, especially out of that support role. Vi gonna come through and save him away from giving up first blood there, at least burning a flash.
Well, it's something. Can Joshi survive this? Because we're attempting it.
Oh, so slow. Zell getting some autos down on his, taking up the turret and flashed out just at the last moment. Really clinical dive there. But because he, alongside Shadow, will soon have access to those game-warping ultimates. I might see them make a debut before his ults come around here, as Sheer does have the lava carpet, and Bin is completely caught out with no flash. Bin is just dead here.
They're going to give it over to JJ, but pretty much a solo kill here for Sheer. I think he gets that even if they play it out completely. Meanwhile,
look out for the rare, the stray cannon minion. Oh, the cannon minion's got heal. The cannon minion's got hands, but it's not enough to get taken care of. Just has to burn its flash.
Okay. I mean, that's going to be Dragon going over to BLG, but still getting that economy out of the Gwen. Let's see what Sheer can do. It did say it's 10 plays on the
job. Gaining some resources despite Bid's mess up.
Well, I mean, at times that's just BLG.
Oh my god, the Q into Dwayne to stun him into the cease and desist. Shadow is styling on his former team right now.
Absolutely beautiful from Shadow there.
I will never get the great lethality virus of 2025, I guess. Okay, hold on. Here we go. JJ with the Cyclone is able to catch Knight a little too far forward. Got to flash himself out because he does not have access to Between Worlds just yet. So good cover for Care, and we'll see how much that allows FPX to mosey their way up towards the Grubs. But JJ not having Cyclone makes this a treacherous task, and Pop Blossom dodged by a nice little magical journey there out of his way, but Elk is transcended, and he's flashed right over the only ability that stops him from solo killing Jachi.
Yeah, no, need to burn Cleanse. He can flash over the Chain of Corruption like Pop. Beautiful flash, get over the Chain of Corruption, and that's a pretty juice cannon minion there. As Jachi falls, and oh boy, not again.
They're using the minions. Remember, the turret doesn't ramp up on the minions. This is just bullying from On and Elk.
He's placing it in here, so JJ has rotated, and Jachi has rotated. It looks like that Dragon is not going to be on the menu for FPX instead. Try and get a piece of it.
Bid does have exhaust. I think that plays a huge role depending on who he's able to drop.
I think he's dead.
It's also 4 versus 1. Yeah, I feel like he's just as good as dead. There is the lava carpet and the knockups all landed. But JJ takes a good lick of damage, and that's going to TP in here. But a flash magical journey saves all. JJ escapes with his life.
Those are the hands from JJ. Great reaction there to get out of the queue from Knight. They've rotated back around too. Let's see if we can find Knight.
Oh, Chains of Corruption. Knight caught napping. And he is going to go down to the flame spinner from Sheer. Tempered Fate also locks on up and forces him to turn forward with the Pop Blossom, but the heal is not enough. JJ survives. Dway diffing that play from BLG.
This is a great play and call from FPX that was for sure disrespected by BLG. The rotation around so on point. There's okay.
Elk immediately cleanses the Timber stun. I don't even think they really even need a Shadow. Diving means there's a turret there, and well, Shadow actually is here for the structure instead.
Like the world that we're in with Elk and Bin. The only concern is, you know, are you always going to be able to auto attack?
JJ is caught on out as his teammate was resetting, and they guessed right on the clone. JJ's impact instantly felt so far in this game one.
On caught out, no Pop Blossom available, and a Rift Herald likely to fall in favor of FPX, so the good plays continue.
Here's a problem spot for BLG is they overforce in spots. They're just disrespecting their opponents. His two flashes immediately gets that Yunara picked off. The Tempered Fate also is going to grab Shadow, and Timbers wants to lay his paws in on the BLG jungler. No Vault Breaker, it's just a stun. And it's more and more stumbles and trips into this mid game for BLG.
That 0-4 Jachi, he's back in the game. His brother took control. And
who's boosted now?
Yeah, and in terms of BLG, I just think that we're taking some real fights and decisions. Is Knight going to try again?
Yeah, you want to see another one? Here's a Pop Blossom. Bin teleports in. They still have their turret up, which is actually really huge. JJ, this time the Magical Journey cannot save you from the might of the turret. Bin not going to look for more with that needle work, but Bilibili
has down numbers, Slayer. Thought they had enough strength to win it regardless, but the execution has just been better for FPX.
Oh, sure, all right. 10th game of Rumble, you know he's comfortable testing the limits of his damage. And Knight, we're going to try and forget that one on your MVP campaign. They actually keep rolling nonetheless. BLG have completely cut Dway out. And this is so important with a Hextech Soul. So powerful, whichever team's able to grab control of it. Shadow going to start that one up. Knight up in mere seconds. He'll have a TP angle towards the bottom side of this pit, so he doesn't even have to TP away from his team. They can hold this front line. His own is actually going to respect flash away from JJ. Stun comes across. JJ, do you have a steal in you? Yes, he doesn't need to steal it because he just killed off Shadow. There's the dragon secured. Bin's going to try and kite back towards Elk, but here comes the Tempered Fate. Not going to hit on either member, so Yunara has to flash over the wall and burn that cleanse as the might of FPX is front-loaded
from his team. It's hard for Elk to play these fights out because the Pop Blossoms desync, Shadow's going down early, and a lot of the other tools around him, it's just damage. Speaking of damage, here, goodbye. That's some revenge for Knight. Trades out the solo kill in the side lane, but still, you know, Elk on the Yunara, he's 3-1.
JJ thinks he's sneaky in this brush, and he's been on the ward this entire time. Luckily, not enough to execute damage over the wall from On and Knight, but JJ now, with no camps on this top side, he is forced to take a reset. Oh, no, it's redemption here to keep him around. So Otacon isn't a freebie for BLG, but they kind of feel like it is. That Tempered Fate is a vision one. Yeah, so now that kind of fight-altering ultimate's off the board here for FPX, I don't think they can really force their way in here. JJ's still pretty hurt, but they're going to look for the engage on to Care this time. Elm trying to set himself up with the Transcendence, but the Between Worlds with Bin's damage is more than enough to take JJ down. Here comes the Lava Carpet, really well positioned. There's no jungler left, and the Otacon has completely reset, and that throws a huge wrench in any Otacon plays for either team.
Well, that was chaotic as the junglers fall. JJ was taken out immediately. FPX used their ults pretty nicely there to make sure that things were evened up. As gonna return to the wave.
Carry top laners. Yeah, we can kind of force objectives on our own. It's sometimes been top laners taking dragons on their own. This time it's Shadow and Bin on a little sneak mission of their own, and they're gonna reap all the rewards here. Otacon seem to go down in mere seconds, and what's the worst thing? You trade dragons 2-2?
This is fine if you're DLG. I mean, Otacon is going to be a lot of power in terms of levels, which I think they really need on their side. Just really strong with levels advantage too. And yeah, you're getting an advantage until you're giving up a Hextech Soul that's permanent. Well, if they get a big enough advantage, then all of a sudden Hextech Soul becomes your advantage potentially. So this could be the target from Jachi, and meanwhile Shadow to really threaten that mid-outer. Here we go.
Right, Edge of Night already taken down. Tempered Fate, though, is going to stall Jachi's execution. Pop Blossom going to hold Gen.G's clone at bay as Bin wins his 1v1 with Sheer off to the side. But Kara is able to drop Shadow off. Both junglers again trade out very early in the fight. Clutch Pop Blossom from On. There's no way for Elk to get in. He just can't get reliable autos down. He did. Gets it completed.
A lot of flashes missing. A lot of flashes.
Dragon started. Yeah.
No flashes on BLG. I want to see if that
Care has
goes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Care jump forward this Timbers. Now is the Bard with the Spellbook Smite. Gets the Dragon, but JJ goes way too far forward. The Hexgate Tempered Fate bails him out. The Bard diff really starting to manifest a lot in this game for Chovy.
I mean, that was massive, because that's almost a scenario where it's a win for BLG. As JJ slinks out of there, he's going to lose his like that. It's been a decent performer, a solid, decent performer on a team that, of course, has really struggled in group essentially.
Big time plays in the biggest moments as once again he finds a Tempered Fate catch on a Shadow, chains the Corruption down next. Piercing Arrow going to chunk him down to half. You have to rely on that red buff for a lot of his healing and maybe some of the camps. So for now, FPX will get control towards that Baron, but how much value can you get out of some of those ults you've already burned as JJ gets caught by a big Pop Blossom and on. Make sure that he trades his life with the junglers. Win for BLG now. They have a much superior smite left up on the board, and they're going to try and take control of the Bear Pit or look for more as Care sends Shadow on a long ride, but it's one back towards the fountain. Another quick trade, 1-for-1.
I mean, they traded up, I guess, the second time as junglers and supports are both down. Now Bin pressing R.
It'll work, but he gets Timbers dropped, even though he tries to stasis it with the Gwen passive. The Zhonya's forces out the E from Sheer. He's able to get that first kill. Jauchi, though, is down as Knight gets just enough damage out, and Elk is going to take the turret up through the stasis and help Knight knock down FPX by, again,
right. Kind of sloppy, though. That 3v3, I'm very surprised they ended up taking that.
But with how sloppy that last fight was, there's no real Baron play. Just JJ losing control over a Scuttle Crab that he now has to pay with a flash and the Tempered Fate out of Chovy. So JJ's over-aggressive positioning.
Coming in from Bin, they're going to probably just have to slam the Rumble TP now, but is it too late?
Looks like it's too late. Chovy has no hero smite to help out, and JJ Cyclone just used defensively. They do catch on off to the side, but Elk is able to put some serious damage out. Carrot goes into the stasis. Shadow is out. Sheer flashes after him, and Chachi's able to grab Elk and knock him down. Bin saves the fight for the second by trading out Sheer, but JJ and Chovy are going after him. No stun lands. Bin trying to kite back using the scissors to the best of his advantages. The soul lanes of BLG. They have to hold up tall, and Knight slams the golden left hand down on the head of FPX. No, sir. No fight win for you. Knight triple kill.
Is it an overchase? Is it not? Who knows? Regardless, Knight with the flash made it happen. And they got
the biggest moments where he has to have that impact, like an MVP, the most valuable player on your team. Now, as we talk about, he gets caught by the Tempered Fate, but all looks for an immediate turn with a 3-man Pop Blossom. Knockham's still going to come on tonight. JJ has the GA, so he will come back up, but Elk is right in front of him. He needs to get these autos down. JJ can use the Trickster and the Cyclone to get out. Bin's needle work, not enough. The heal comes through. Elk's trying to push the Transcendence to the maximum form, and it'll help get just enough damage through to drop JJ and Chovy. And with Shadow revive,
so good for FPX, and it was, but once the ults were down, they don't have the DPS to keep up with the Gwen or the Yunara. They're online. BLG have scaled.
Steal. Chachi, no! Doesn't get it blind. Bin might try and run him down here. Change the Corruption still up. I think Chachi gets out, but that's Baron finally knocked off the map.
Pick up for BLG. You gotta imagine if Kara is there with stuns or a Tibbers, is BLG and is Elk able to
unless Knight gets that big of a combo into two members, and just like that, bye-bye turn.
No.
Even 3 picks in. BLG are damage rich. Are they able to siege well? Shadow flashes away from the Timbers really well, so he doesn't get popped as Knight dropped in between worlds. JJ forced out of the fight, and Care once again the victim to start things off for BLG, and Elk trying to really max the transcendence of his Yunara as best as possible. BLG have to be a bit wary, though, taking their siege towards the Nexus turrets. They have other avenues to play for, and they'll instead Hextech Soul to BLG for the proverbial nail in the coffin. Yep.
Yeah.
We are 15 seconds away from leaving the BLG game time Goldilocks zone. Just keep that in mind, everybody.
Oh, God. You know, no wonder I forgot about that one. It almost feels like a fake stat, even if it's very real. But yeah, BLG. Nico. Yep, that thing spawned. They have 2 Butchering Hits at their disposal, so we'll see if they can spread them out or use them. All right, there's one. They know.
All This time Knight's able to sidestep out of the temporary fade, so there goes that big game plan, and Pop Blossom is through on to 2, and Knight gets onto the back line to drop all of that damage. GA's popped, but Knight is taking heads, not names, grabs himself a double kill just like that, and no Baron needed, just massive loads of damage. Bilibili Gaming gonna take a 1-0 lead in 42 minutes. For the first time in what feels like forever, BLG are winning a post 40-minute game.
Yeah, I mean, BLG, they scaled in this one. So, feels like Cassante gives them a little bit of what they need, and a team fight as Cassante has never hurt anyone. As that leads to an Insta-Brom response Slayer.
And is pesky with this red
Sauce
buff.
might. Yeah, I think JJ just has to drop. I don't think he can fight this at all. He's gonna go find Knight, and that's about it.
Yeah, he'll find it. Get the stun down here early. Carrot close by. Flick back's gonna create some space, and Knight looks like he's running the wrong way, but On's actually here, and remember, Shadow as well is taking this red buff. Care JJ, weren't expecting this kind of a wrap coming through so early. When comes Lightning connects, Care is gonna flash, but the red buff is gonna get the kill.
That was depressing, Slayer. That was an anti-command in our LPL playoffs, and well, the business I'm looking at is still in that mid lane where Knight, after I would say intervention mid.
Hold on, Wei, try to punish on. Unbreakable shield, not gonna hold him long enough. Chway, man, keep talking about it. Continue to beat the dead horse. He just sees things that few other players do. Not too far after, but Shadow on a pick board feels pretty confident taking this. And FPX, see how upset they are about it.
Stronger, yeah. We'll see what they can do.
Dragon not start up too quickly. JJ's gonna flash on top of On. Sets up the double headbutt pulverize with a flash out of the shockwave. Is gonna keep Shadow alive. On very low, but full support seem happy to try and trade themselves out. L does have to flash forward to secure the first kill, puts him in a pretty uncomfortable position. The flick back not gonna land because Gen.G flashes over it. Shadow gonna look for the trade very desperately. Does use the move, becomes Lightning, able to get the kill and the heal, but Knight is out of mana, and JJ's got enough behind his spear to find that kill. Knight trying to use the complete usage of all this mana to pick up this last kill, and he will get it with the flick back and the flash over the wall. Knight gets himself out. It's only on to TP back in.
Oh my god, what a fight. We just threw everything at it. As On TP's back in.
Turns to a sense of normalcy in the LPL, even when Shadow tried to buck the trend of those late Drake takes. But back in business here, leaning on another winning lane for BLG, which has been quietly so far. Gonna use that pressure to grab all 3 grubs uncontested.
That feels good, man. So hard to fight. Renekton with Dominus up at this point of the game and a pickaxe. He is so big at those early fights. Punish an entire team, but with those grubs locked down, well, JJ, yep.
Oh, they're diving Elk on. Your AD carry's gonna need some help pretty quickly here. Trying to get back to the turret, still gets stunned. Topo strikes back, but there's the all-out, really well positioned from Sheer. Gets Elk away from his turret. Knight TP's back in, seismic shove down. Shield goes up for JJ. Spike stun's gonna come across, but FPX have numbers here. BLG have no way back in to avenge their AD carry.
Oh, Shadow. He did take the blast cone over the wall, so they're going to long chase FPX out. I mean, if they
sort of, willingness to not quit. I just think that JJ has found decent angles. You're starting to see maybe in this game more that he's making more proactive calls, Cubby, that I think we're missing.
All out later on. Yes, please. Care with a shockwave. Potential to do more damage than Talia. Gen.G as well on the Corki could do some work later. I think it's kind of tough. Like Xin Braum is such a strong set in the front line.
That's that front line.
Yeah, we're good out.
Both supports trade their ultimate. Shadow re-engages, gets the knockup when he comes Lightning, holding onto that crescent guard. He's going to have to use it pretty soon here, or Gen.G will take him out. Both mid laners make the roam back over. Elk is sectioned off. Nonetheless, no flashes, no pretty big ultimates used there. Everybody a little bit camera shy.
Don't mind BLG looking for this turn. It's going to reset though on.
I've heard this one before. On caught out, but Fanny Knight that has to actually pay the Pied Piper. Joy delivers the shockwave. Knight flashing over the wall, but Gen.G's going to chase him down. 2 levels down, but still feels like he has enough damage. Picks up the double kill, but look at Bin with Dominus pop. Gen.G already flashed over the wall to get in, and Bin's going to make sure to expedite his shipping right back towards the fountain, but Gen.G's going to make it a triple kill before he goes down. More messy fights on tap for this series, Cubby.
Yeah, and I mean, more gold going Jotchi's way.
Items coming through here will make a bit of a difference. L does get the Essence Reaver in, albeit a bit late here on this Lucian. Seraph's on tap here for Knight as we have our first pretty big Grand Starfall coming down to try and cover Chovy. It does pop the Unbreakable Will. The Shadow and On are able to create enough space here, it feels like, for Knight and Elk. It has to be a pretty big Shockwave, but Shadow drops the Crescent Guard and executes JJ. Jotchi over the wall still feels confident because the Shockwave is going to find and clip Knight, who goes down first. Elk can't seem to find a way in, and Jotchi, once again, making the difference in these fights for FunPlus Phoenix.
It's really nice patience by Care, too, with the Shockwave to make sure that Jotchi could clean up the back half as FBX played that quite well. So Elk, he took a lot of damage right there. That was pretty force rocket, pretty hard.
JJ wasn't expecting Knight to flick him back, maybe, and Elk's gonna dash forward to try and find the kill, but he eats a Shockwave and a Valkyrie right to the head. Jotchi again, just pushing out way too much damage for BLG to ever find an answer for. You can see how much it just hinders all of their forward plays. They can't get past this Titan of a Corki.
Honestly, kind of a tough look from Elk. Didn't have the culling, and now
On, I mean, what are we doing there? Grand Starfall is back up for JJ. They're going to get here just in time for 50-50 to come across. He does not get. Shadow wins that one. The younger hands able to handle the spike key there. JJ can eat the stun, and here comes that dominance up Bin, and that's enough to force Jotchi back out of the fight. Bin making the difference, and Knight swinging on in to try and clean up some of these other kills. He's got Care sectioned off in a 1v1. The Shockwave gonna find its mark, slow down, but he has to flash over. A whip becomes lightning. Bin still smells blood in the water. Not gonna flash after that kill, but the Bin difference coming through here for BLG, saving them from these last couple of murky fights.
Yeah, I just didn't think that FPX should take a big numbers fight. I think that you would be powered down in terms of advantage. That the Pantheon didn't find the setup, but eventually the setup mid. Elk be able to skate out of this one though. Shui has flash. Yep.
Yeah, and he's just going to make sure to commit it. Elk does flash as well, but they still are able to layer that second stun, and now it's JJ getting a 2-for-1 special on flashes there. Elk caught out.
Yeah, it's nice E by Knight to at least try and force Pantheon to casting W, but doesn't happen. The Rift Herald's going to fall, and FPX again showing they can make some plays. It hasn't been anything too fancy, too complicated yet, outside of I think a couple of nice Shockwave holds by Care, but it's getting the job done. And the gold allocation for FPX, I know the gold's pretty close on the scoreboard, but look at who has the gold on FPX. It's so much better.
Oh no. Jotchi. Flash for the exhaust. On. Gets the Winter's Bite stack. Shadow's going to find that kill. 2.8k advantage in the 80 carries. Doesn't matter when he gets run down by Shadow and On. Oh, it just gets worse and worse, Chovy. They lost JJ as well. Dway should be fine here, but they're going to lose a tier 1 turret on the top side. It's just that undisciplined stench exuding from FPX.
Yeah, that was a good play by BLG. Again, if FPX is disconnected, I think BLG can get away with that. And maybe more here. Okay, never mind. That wall looks a little bit goofy.
Here. It's all good. They find the kills, and now we'll see if they can funnel some gold into Elk. Because Vine BLG, like the next big thing to come back, we're up gold overall. It's a pretty even game, but again, the gold allocation is so much better for FPX here. Elk needs gold. He has to catch back up. Being an item,
the same mistake that cost him his life a couple seconds ago. So he gets the hell out of dodge. Are BLG willing to drop this mid-tier, or drop mid-waves here to dance around with Octagon? No. Elk's got to answer that mid-wave.
Yeah, he is. And that's going to give a man drop angle.
Okay. Oh, Glacial Fissure was a bit early, but the flick back from Knight gets on out. A lot of value having the bot tier 1 turret up right now. I think JJ using Grand Starfall just slows FPX down so much. Yeah, I mean, Prairie
real
Rocket,
angle there.
Gen.G was the angle. Now JJ, look, I mean, this is what Pantheon does when he doesn't have a flanking ultimate. He walks up and gets deleted. Both top laners been TP in here, but FPX, you've got no real rhyme or reason to be sticking around here unless you see a really good fight angle. Because you're down a smite and you're down a key engage tool. so much of the brunt going to be put on Chovy to find a unique angle in here as BLG start to melt the Octagon, but Shadow wants the fight. He's going to flash in, gets headbutted out, but the Weaver's wall cuts care off for the rest of his team, and the rest of FPX are put into the grinder. Sure, Sheer gets one back, but Elk's flashing after him for the Winter Bite stacks. It's going to make sure the top laner for FPX falls as well. There's the fight BLG were looking for, and here's their commanding lead.
Great turn from Shadow, their commanding leader, the old one of FPX, to start that off.
Different Shadow makes when he comes onto this team, you know, immediately inserting himself in calls and willing to try and lead a team full of such notable names, and I think that really showed up in that Octagon fight once again.
And that's like the good and the bad of BLG, right? Is that you can, like, these guys are freaks of nature when it comes to them playing on the sticks, but for me, this is always the team that was the brawn and not the brain. We're looking at AO and the MSI representatives. So still looking to see if BLG can double up their brain and make better plays here. I do like how Chovy sat on the ultimate there. That's 2 big ults down for BLG before they pressure this Baron.
Yeah, I think your I think your analogy for BLG got some personification. Here's what's scary for me, Chovy, is if we wait, I feel like we've waited too long for this Baron, but BLG, yeah, it's a good spot to be in. Yeah, just play for Soul. All right, that's Glacial Fissure and Crescent Guard out for very little. So again, some ultimates coming down off the board, but Knight's going to be here and say, all right, guys, let's calm down. Weaver's Wall. Chovay's off to the side. We'll get his Unbreakable Will. We'll get the Pantheon ultimate. Sheer, though, throws himself into 4 members of BLG. Luckily, he's taking it up, but in wants seconds. Good headbutt there from Chovy to get him out. But out is not good for FPX because the Soul is on the Rift in about 9 seconds.
I mean, holy health bar. You cannot overcome Hextech Soul in these games as FPX, so they got to get in here and steal, but they're too late.
Chovy, do you have another hero smite in you? No, he doesn't even have it on tap. Instead, he's going to serve a shockwave and a headbutt onto Knight, but he doesn't have enough damage thrown on top of him, so he flashes back out. Look at Gen.G. How does he ever get into this fight to deal all the damage the Corki needs to deal? Finally, he'll be able to turn some, but that's just, again, to save some of his members until On flashes back forward, and they catch Gen.G again with a 2-man seismic shove, flick back. BLG back to their mid-game dominating ways. And they're going to stamp off FPX's season 1 and 12.
Just make sure you can be as strong as possible. Didn't even need the 1 life. Easy for BLG to secure the Dragons and secure the Baron, and then secure the game afterwards. As JJ really struggled this game.
Yeah. The Pantheon did not get things going. There were some good looks early. I thought his first Grand Starfall was nice, looking for a dive, but it's really hard to find windows to be aggressive into BLG, especially when they draft a comp like we talked about. There just was bred in winning ways from the draft, from bot side to top side. And yeah, they never looked back, so now you've got these kind of desperation heaves as JJ tries to set up a flank on Elk, but again, where's your damage, bro? There's nothing left. He barely tickles Elk and goes down just like that. Chovy tries to deliver another shockwave, but it is just too little, too late, FPX. The sunset has passed. The twilight has arrived on your Rumble stage. And it's BLG, the Grim Reaper, looking to send them to play-ins with 1 measly series win in all of Group Ascend.
BLG, I know that, you know, this was an expected win. Game 1, I feel like, took a little bit longer than what it should have taken for them to win that one, but this one, I'd say right on schedule. It was a bloody game, but it was always in their favor. BLG take care of business and take down FPX. Shadow takes down his old team. Both times they met on the